Hello, my crochet rock stars. It's Lynn from Curiosity Crochet. Today I'm going to redo that one checker hat, the first video that I put out that was upside down. So I'm going to redo that for you guys today. And hopefully, because I did get a couple requests to redo it, so that's why we're going to redo it. I'm actually going to do it on a small scale for you guys. So I'm just picked up a couple different yarns. I've got my paint box and another big twist just to put so I can show you the color change. But I'm going to do it on a real small scale for you guys. And you guys can do the multiples and make it, you know, as big or small as you would like to. Remember, you can use any weight yarn. You can use any hook you want to. I usually go by whatever the yarn recommends. I do a size smaller for the brim and then the recommended size for the hat, especially on hats like this. If I'm ever going to do something different, I'll let you know, but this one's pretty straightforward, so just do a smaller size for the brim and the recommended for the top part of the hat. Let me get situated and we'll get started. Okay, and you do want two colors for this hat. We're going to use one color for the brim and the middle rows, and then the main color for the bigger part of the pattern. So we're going to start with the brim. And this one's pretty straightforward, but I'm going to show you. And like I said, I'm going to do it on a smaller scale so I can upload this video for you guys. So I'm just going to do a chain of 20. And I apologize for the position I'm in today, but I had to find a way to do it in my room because it's just too loud doing it out in the kitchen. So you do want a multiple of 2 for this hat. And you want to make sure whatever you chain will go for the circumference of whatever head you're making it. If you don't know, I usually do it about 20 to 21 inches long. Because then what we're going to do is we're going to follow our chain down to the end and don't twist it down to your first chain, and we're going to slip stitch in there, pull it through, and that's what you guys are going to have a bigger circle, obviously. Maybe this could be a baby doll hat. And we're going to chain 2, and it does not count as anything. That is just our builder. And we are going to double crochet, yarn over, go into that chain that you slip stitched into. You're going to pull up a loop, go through 2, go through 2 again. That's our first double crochet. Now we're just going to follow the chains around and put 1 double crochet all the way around. Until we get to the end of our circle here. So you guys do that, 1 double crochet in each chain all the way around, and we'll meet back up after that. Okay, once you get those double crochets done, sorry, my yarn's all tangled up here. Give me 1 second. Oh, don't you hate that? Anyways, once you get your double crochets around done, you're going to slip stitch in the top of that double crochet. And you're going to chain your 2 again, which remember doesn't count as anything. And now what we're going to do, don't worry about that first chain 3. This first double crochet that we did on the previous row, we're going to do a front post. So you're going to go in the side and come up from behind that, come out the other side, pull up a loop, and finish your double crochet. There's your first front post. Now, this next stitch, we're going to do a back post. So what we're going to do is yarn over and come up from behind and go around that post pull up a loop, and finish that double crochet. So then we're just going to repeat that. So we're going to yarn over and go in to the side of this one. Make sure the post is on top of your hook. Pull up a loop and finish your double crochet. Then we're going to do the back post. We're going to come up from behind. So we're going to come up this way and make sure that that post is in the back of your hook now. Pull up a loop and finish your double crochet. So that's what we're going to repeat all the way around. One front post, one back post, one front post, one back post, all the way around. And then I'll meet back up with you guys. Okay, now that we came back around, now because we have an even number of stitches here, you started on a front post, so you'll end with a back post here. And now we're just going to slip stitch into the top of that first front post. And then that'll be the start of your brim. So now we're just going to repeat that for a few rows. You're going to chain 2, and you're going to front post around the front post. And back post around the back post. So you're literally just going to follow that around and repeat it. And I generally do about 6 rows. It gives a nice average size band. Now you can do, oh, you guys, it is so knotted up. It came out like this. I'm so sorry. But you can do as many rows as you want to. You want a thick brim, do more rows. If you want a thin brim, do less rows. Just as many rows as you want that you want your hat to look like. It is all up to you because it is your hat and I want you to be happy with it. Other than that, get those rows done and then I will meet back up with you for the next part. Okay, now after you get how many ever rows you want to get done, we are going to start the top part of the hat. So after you slip stitch that last one, you're just going to chain 1 because this first row we're just going to do, and we're going to stay with the same color for right now. We're just going to do a row of single crochet. So you're just going to go in, pull up a loop, and pull through those 2 loops. And we're just going to do that all the way around for 1 row. Just follow it around. I just want to say thank you for everybody that has subscribed and watched my videos. I really appreciate it. I'm glad that I can share some of my fun patterns with you guys, and glad we can have a little fun together because, you know, just a little into my life. I live with all men who do not understand me and definitely don't understand my crochet. So if I can share this with some people, I really enjoy that. Now, on another note, if there's anything that I could do differently or any suggestions that I can get from any of you, I would appreciate that. Like, if my videos are too fast, too slow, too boring, if I talk too much, I mean, let me know down in the comments. Just give me some suggestions. I would love that. Now that we've come to the end of that row of single crochets, what we're going to do is we're going to pull up a little bit on this, and we're going to go in from behind that same stitch. If I can get my hook in there, we're going to grab this loop, pull it a little bit, and we are going to pull it through so that it's on the inside now. And chain your 1, and we are going to cut that off. Sorry about that little pause. I did not have any scissors by me, but we are going to cut that off, and we are going to bring in our main color. We are also going to change hook size now. We're going to go to that bigger size, whichever one is recommended for your yarn. So now I like to put a little slip knot in mine to start with, just to connect it. I mean, you can connect your color however you want to. I always say the same thing in my videos, but I want you guys to do whatever you're comfortable with. But you're going to go into that same stitch that we ended on. Well, we are going to try, at least, to go in that first stitch we started with and get that going there. Now, we are going to single crochet in the very first stitch. Sorry, I had stuff falling off my table here. So we're going to chain one, and we are going to single crochet in this first stitch. We are going to chain one. Sorry about that. So we are going to chain one after that single crochet, and we are going to skip one, and then we are going to single crochet, and we are going to chain one. We are going to skip one. We are going to single crochet and chain one. And we are going to do this all the way around until we get back to the beginning. Okay, and then when we come back around, you're going to have one stitch left. So you're going to single crochet in there. You're still going to chain one. And then we're going to slip stitch, but we're going to bring in our other color. You know what? No, we're going to stay with this color. Sorry about that. Forgot. We're going to stay with this color. For the first two rows, I do the same color. Then we bring in the other color for this row will always be in this color, but I wanted something to break it up a little bit other than just that single crochet row. So we start with this, and then we're going to change colors when we come back around to this row. So it's a 2-row repeat. It's the single crochet, chain one, and then it's this one that we're going to start now. So what we're going to do is we're going to, this row here is the first row of the repeat, and for the most part of the pattern, this is going to be the other color. But I like starting with the same color and then we'll switch. So now what we're going to do is chain 3. And in these chain spaces here, we're going to do a cluster, 4 double crochet cluster. And what that is you yarn over, go in there, pull up a loop, and pull through 2. But don't finish it. And now we're going to do 2, pull through the first 2 loops, 3, pull through those first 2 loops, and 4, pull through those first 2 loops. And now you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops. You're going to pull through all those loops, and you're going to chain 1. And now we're going to go to the next chain space. We're going to yarn over, pull up, first 2 loops, 2, first 2 loops, 3, first 2 loops, 4, first 2 loops, then all 5, chain 1. And we are going to do that all the way around in these chain spaces. I pulled my yarn somehow, but in the chain spaces is where we're going to go and do the same thing. I'll show you one more time. Yarn over, go in that chain space, pull up a loop, go through the first 2 loops. Go in, pull up a loop, go through the first 2. Go in, pull up a loop, first 2. One more time, go in, pull up a loop, first 2. 5 loops on your hook, pull through all 5, chain 1. So now go ahead and repeat that all the way around, and I'll meet back up with you. We're going to change colors and do this first row again, and then we're simply going to repeat those 2 rows. I'll be back. Okay, now when we come up to the end, don't forget about this chain 1 space that we did at the end, that between that last one, because that's going to be your last cluster right there. Chain your 1, and then we are going to slip stitch in the top of that first cluster. But we're going to change colors here, so what you're going to do is you're going to start your slip stitch and drop that color, and we are going to bring in the other color. So here I just grab the yarn, pull it through, make sure that other one's nice and tight. Now I like to, I mean, you guys are welcome to do it however you want to, but I like to, so you're going to start with the chain 1, just like on this first row down here. And we're going to go right back in that same stitch, and we're going to single crochet. I like to do it over that other color just to keep it in place, and then drop it completely. I'm kind of tangled up today, so don't pay attention to that. But so then we're going to do that chain 1, and we're going to skip this and go right into the top of that next cluster and single crochet, and then chain 1 and do the same right into the top of that cluster, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1. So you're just going to do that in the top of each cluster. So you're skipping the chain and you're single crocheting into the top of that cluster and doing your chain 1. Top of the cluster, single crochet, chain 1. And you're going to do this all the way around till you get to the end. And I'm almost there anyways, so I'm just going to continue to go here. Single crochet, chain 1, single crochet. Make sure you do that chain 1. And then we are going to slip stitch into the top of that first single crochet, and because we didn't detach this, we just left this hanging here, it's here to grab. Boom, 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 bam. Can't be emerald, so I say boom. I could say booyah. I'm so retarded. Okay, so we're gonna now do that other row again. So we're gonna chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Don't mind me, y'all. And I did not sleep well last night, so I'm tired on top of it. So now what we're going to do is that chain 1 space again. We're going to do that cluster. We're going to jump right into the chain space. So we're going to yarn over, go in, pull up a loop, pull through 2. Go in, pull up a loop, pull through 2. Go in, pull up a loop, pull through 2. Go in, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through all of them, chain 1. And we're going to repeat that around again now. So go in that chain space, make sure you drop that other color, pull up a loop, go through 2, go in, pull up a loop, go through 2, go in, pull up a loop, go through 2, go in, pull up a loop, go through 2. So you're doing it 4 times, and you make sure you have 5 loops. Pull through those loops, chain 1. And see how the brown, or whatever your other color is, comes through there. Looks like checkers, checkerboard. So that's what you're going to repeat. So now that's what you're going to do for the entire length of the hat. You're going to do your single crochet, chain 1 row, and you're going to do your cluster row, back and forth, back and forth, until you get it to the length that you want it to be. Now, if you want it to be super slouchy like I did it, I made it 10 inches tall. If you want a regular size beanie with it, I would do about 7 inches. Anything in between, shoot, little bit slouchy. Even for like a real small beanie, I do it about 6 inches tall. If you're doing it for a child, I would say 5 or 6 inches tall, depending on how big the circumference is. I wouldn't go too much bigger than that, because then it's going to get too big. But get that done, and then I'm going to show you how we're going to bring it in. Okay, now that you've got however long you want it to be, we're going to start with the decreases. So you're still going to slip stitch in the top there and change your color. Go to your, if I could grab it, would be great. Don't let it go too big like that. And you're going to slip stitch that. And now what we're going to do is we are going to start decreasing. So you're going to chain one. You're still going to go in that same first one and single crochet and chain one. But now what we're going to do is we're going to take the next two and put them together. So don't yarn over, sorry. You're going to go in, bring up a loop, go into the next one, bring up a loop, pull it together, chain one. And then you're going to do one by itself, chain one, and then do two together. So that's what we're going to do for the top of this row. We're going to do one, and then we're going to do two together. One, and then two together all the way around. And then I'll meet you back. Okay, and then when you're coming up to the end, you're going to be left with just one. So just make sure you chain those ones in between. And you're just going to do one single crochet, still chain your one, and we're going to slip stitch and bring in this other color. And drop that other color. Chain your three. Now we're going to do the cluster just a little bit different. Still going into that chain one space. We're going to yarn over and go in, but this time we're just going to do three. So we're going to go through the first two, go for the three, pull through those loops and chain your one. And that's what we're going to do around this time. Drop that other color. Go in the next chain space, go in, pull up a loop, pull through two, pull through two, three, pull through two, and then pull through. The only difference is that we're doing three instead of four on this row. So follow that around, and then I'll meet back up with you. Okay, and then once you come back up around, don't forget this last chain space. Go in there. It's a little hard to do it on a small scale like this, I'll tell you what. 2, 3, pull through and chain one. And then we're going to change colors and do this other row one last time with this color. We are going to chain one. I get so mixed up with these colors because they just hang there and they get in my way. So chain one, go in, and we are going to bring all of them together now. Chain one, go in, chain one, go in the next two, chain one, go in the next two, chain one, and then you'll be left with one again. I'm sorry, you guys, this is really fiddly. So go in there and do that last single crochet and chain one, and then slip stitch and bring your other color through one last time. And you can cut that one off, that brown one, or your secondary color. You can be done with that, because we are done with that color. So you can drop that. Now in the chain one spaces this time, we're just going to do a two together. So just 1 and 2, and pull through and chain your one. So now you're just doing 2 instead of 3 or 4. 1, 2, pull it together. 1, 2, pull it together. 1, 2, pull it together. And then we are going to do this last one. Don't forget about that last one. And I'm sorry I keep moving around so much. My yarn keeps getting stuck. So like I'm having a hard time. This video is going to be interesting. And I'm really sorry if it's worse than the first one. I'm trying to come up with ways and places to do this, but it's a small house and not a lot of space. So for the last row, like you'll notice that your hole is pretty small at this point. Like it's real small on mine, so I'm not even going to do this next one, but I'm just going to tell you guys. But it's up to you. You can cinch it at this point if you want to, or you can do one more row of single crochet decreases. So you can do one more row of 2 together. So you just do 2 single crochets together one more time all the way around. So like I said, you could either cinch it up right here, or you can do the one more row of 2 together. So 2 together is just going into that top and going into the next 2 together, and then going through all 3. And then you just do that all the way around. And then we're going to leave a long string so that we can cinch it up. Grab your tapestry needle. And I usually put it inside out to cinch it up, but this little thing is so hard. Like I don't even think I can show you on here. But you go in and out of the stitches and just stitch, cinch it up, or however you cinch it up, and then sew in your ends. It's that easy. That looks hilarious, you guys. Look at that. I'm choking myself up. Without the cinching though, this might be a really nice pattern to do like fingerless gloves. That might be really cute. That's a good idea. I might make a video on that. Come up with some fingerless gloves. Yeah, might be a good idea. So you should have your hat done at this point. I want to show you guys something. So I made this beautiful wrap. I don't know if you can, I used Caron latte cakes with this one. I don't know if you can see the pattern real good, but it's also asymmetrical. So like it's got a point and it goes down. It's real pretty. My question to you guys is, would you like to see other videos on other stuff than just hats? Because I make pretty much everything. I can make bags. I can make fingerless gloves, shawls, cowls. I mean, whatever you'd like to see, let me know down in the comments if that's something you're interested in, because I can switch it up every video then, instead of just doing hats every single time. Amigurumi too. I can do amigurumi. So like I said, let me know down in the comments, and maybe we can switch it up and do some different things. But don't forget to like and subscribe. Please subscribe. The little button down on your right hand side right below my video where it says subscribe. The more subscribers I have, the more videos I can do. And I really like making these videos for you guys. So let's keep it up. Let's have some fun. And I will see you in the next video.